Hey chef, I just got a new job. Any things I should know before I get into the kitchen, like kitchen etiquette? So I got a message on the Facebook feed from one of the individuals that are on that page. The question was from Dan American, and his question was, hey chef, can you discuss some kitchen etiquette that normally are unspoken rules in the kitchen? First of all, thank you very much, Dan, for giving me the question. Here is my answer, or answers rather. Yes, there are plenty of common kitchen etiquette rules, but I've narrowed it down to 10 rules. Number one, no matter what the situation is, especially if it's an order coming in, you always want to play the telephone game, meaning saying yes chef, or you repeat the order and then you move on. Number two, it's okay to talk to your colleagues, but don't disrupt their task while they're trying to work, especially like prep cooks, dishwashers, or even front of the house staff. You're there to do a job, do your job. Number three, if you cut yourself or hurt yourself, don't whine about it. Take care of the wound and put on a glove and then continue working. Number four, if you're under the weather and you're not contagious, even though if it's a hangover, common allergies, or a cold, still try to make an effort to come to work. The chefs and the kitchen staff could put you in different positions that does not make you a hindrance. Number five, and this is a big one, never ever use someone else's knife or equipment without their permission. You have to remember, knives to a chef is like tools for a blacksmith. You don't use them unless you ask them. And even at that point, don't ask them often. You should have your own knives sharpened, maintained, clean, and in a knife bag. Always try to make an effort to arrive at least 15 minutes early. This has been a habit through the military for me, and this is a habit also in the kitchen. If your schedule tells you to come in at 12 o'clock, you should have your uniform serviced, ready to go and put on, your cutting board ready, all your knives and equipment are laid out and ready at 12 o'clock. Don't clock in at 12 o'clock, changing a uniform, lollygag with someone, in the kitchen, and then decide to start working 15 to 20 minutes later. It's wasteful time. So always show up early, at least 15 minutes early. Number seven, this is a big one for me too. Respect your dishwashers. They are probably the most underpaid and most underappreciated resource in the kitchen, but really they are the most important, because without clean dishes and pots, you can't do anything. You can't cook. So if you accidentally scorched a pan or burned a pot, put water in it. Tell them, hey, let this soak for a little bit. Another thing, if something's hot, like extremely hot, tell them. Don't just leave it in the dish pit and assuming that everything is gonna be okay. Number eight, don't ride the clock. There's always something to do in the kitchen. You can get ahead of prep list for the next day. You can help clean the walk-in or organize it rather. You can do special details in the kitchen, like certain parts of equipment can be detailed. And most importantly, help your dishwashers if you have a moment. I do it all the time. Number nine, never touch someone else's prep or mise en place for matter. They work really hard for it, so guess what? It's their mise en place. Work on it. If you need chopped onion, chop it yourself. This is what the thing with mise en place is so important. And for those who don't know, mise en place is a French term meaning everything put in place. I think that's what it is. So if those guys and gals work really hard on working on their mise en place, you should too. So don't slack off. Number 10, and this is a very important one. Always have a great attitude. Look, your personal lives might not be the best, but when you come into the kitchen, you have to be a different person. Because you know why? Now you're performing and you're working to provide some of the best food and hospitality in your kitchen and in your establishment. So always have a great attitude, because the thing is, if one person is stressing out, it's going to be felt in ripples everywhere else in the kitchen. And this is a very important thing. I've learned from many chefs to leave your attitude at the door. I cannot emphasize that enough. Now, there are some things that are spoken of. For example, coming into your kitchen with a clean, serviceable uniform, or places that don't have uniforms, wear a clean shirt, wear non-slip shoes. That's a big thing with me. I hate it when someone comes into my kitchens and wears tennis shoes, because the moment they slip and they hurt themselves and they can't go to work, they can't work there anymore. So every time, I always have a pet peeve. You better have non-slip shoes, you better have a clean and serviceable uniform, and you better have your own knife kit, clean and serviceable. Now, there are some house knives, but I'm gonna be very honest. Most of my cooks have their own kit. And this is another big thing to follow up on this, on number 10. If you come in with a bad attitude, you're gonna be gone, or I'm going to send you home. Which brings me up to number 11. If you're caught stealing in any single way, don't expect to be there the very next day. I utterly cannot accept that and will not accept that. Don't eat on the line. This is what some people call garbage mouthing. Now, it's okay to taste on the line, like if you're tasting your sauces, or if you're tasting like one of the veg or one of the pasta noodles before you serve, to check doneness or check season level. That's completely okay. But don't eat a whole steak on the line. There's a time and place for that. It's called family meal. Or they send you, you just hide a little corner in the back and then you just eat. But really, be a professional. Don't garbage mouth on the line. Another kitchen etiquette that I always tell people is, don't bring glass containers into the kitchen, because, for example, if you're gonna drink water or drink soda or drink coffee, put it in the deli cup. We call it a go cup, or a Krabby deli container, which is a clear container with the lid, somewhat hard plastic, and those are great. We use it to hold our herbs, our sauces, even our water. And I always have one with with one of the dome lids cracked on the top, so I can put my straw in there. And I just put my name on there. Hey, this is mine, and Because look, you're gonna need it when you're working on the line. It will get hot. Stay hydrated. And last but not least, date everything. There's also something that's called first in, first out, meaning if there was an item that you put in 2 days ago, and then all of a sudden the same item of that type comes in 2 days later, use the item that you had brought in first. Another thing, in regards to date and labeling, you need to put a date and label on everything and your initials, so that A, you know when it was put in the container, B, you know what are the contents of the container, and C, the chef would be able to determine whose initials was on that label. There are probably plenty of these kitchen etiquettes or unspoken rules, But really, it comes down to if the chef or kitchen manager is training the staff properly. And these are some of the things that I think that are very important, that are unspoken rules, kitchen etiquette. Hey, thanks for watching. If you love this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications for future events and future content. Also, put comments on the YouTube page for future suggestions and future videos. You might even get recognized like Dan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.